Welcome to the 2023 boat walkthrough video. This is my NITRO Z21XL 2023 model. I've only had it in the water once so far. Went and got a couple hours of break in on it, but man, super excited about this rig. Changed up a few things as far as some of the stuff that I put on this one from my last one, and it's been a minute, truthfully, since I've done a walkthrough video because that last 21XL actually got in 20, and so I had that boat a little bit longer than I typically do, but been a little bit since we've done one of these walkthrough videos. I guess that was in 21. Regardless, either way, it's been a minute since we've done one. Yeah, yeah, I ran it.
Half a season and a full season.
Yeah, I ran it over a year and a half. So, and it was neat to run a boat a little bit longer than usual, truthfully, because once I got it set up, I just kind of rolled with it and was able to do that for a little longer than usual. But yeah, let's go through this thing. Going to start up here at the front. Going to hit on some of the big obvious stuff on the outside and stuff that you can see. Then we'll hop up in the boat and kind of go through a few things there. Of course, Minn Kota Ultrex 112, no surprise there. 360. Mega Live, and like I said, I've only had this boat in the water once. I'm actually doing a little bit of experimenting right now with Mega Live, and I've got two units rigged up on here right now. I do not have my target lock installed. It's laying right there on the front deck. Our first event is down at the Kissimmee chain on Toho and Kissimmee and those lakes, and just what I'm expecting. I'm not thinking that that live sonar is going to be a huge player there, especially the situation where I would use that target lock and really be proficient with it. So I just got it took off for for the time being for this first event. Another big difference up here, something obvious and easy to hit on standing here outside of the boat. Of course, running Humminbird electronics again, but these are a little bit different from what I've ran the last couple of years. Last 2 or 3 seasons, I've been running 5 Helix units, 5 Helix 12s is what I've been running. 3 at the bow, 2 at the console. But this year I have went to Apex units and I've went to 16s. Okay, so I went to just 2 units up here on the console or on the bow, 1 unit at the console, and I'm pretty excited about that, about having less graphs on the boat. Now I've got their bigger screens, so I truly didn't lose much as far as amount of inches of screen up here on the front. I went from 312, so just call it 36, to 216, so call it 32. So I truly didn't lose a lot of screen space, but those Apex units, I'm really excited about what I think they'll have to offer for this season. And one other really neat thing with the Apex that I can do is with my AquaView system. So this is called a multi-view. So I'm able to plug this in. I've got a cigarette plug wired in right here that I can plug this into, so I get my power from there, plug that in, and then I can HDMI cable this into the back of this Apex 16, and then that becomes my display. So I don't have to add another screen up here. I don't have to have a mount, to hold that AquaView screen. It plugs in and it powers it, and it runs right on that screen. So it's a really awesome deal. Again, it does have to be plugged to 12-volt power, and I mentioned that having that there. So really pretty neat system, and very easy way to do that. Very clean. I'm excited about using that up here on the front of my Nitro this year. So really cool deal there. Of course, up here with my Ultrex on that foot pedal, I've got my Chill Tracks, foot rest from TH Marine. And as much as I fish barefoot, you got to have that thing on that pedal to keep your feet from getting burnt, in the summertime or maybe even in the wintertime down in Florida. I'm pretty excited about going down there in February as Jenny is rolling her eyes. Of course, I got my I about said Talon foot switches up here, but I actually switched up to Raptors this year. We'll look at those in the back. But I've got those foot switches up here left and right, and I do have my target lock switch over there under the trolling motor foot pedal as well. And that troll jacket from TH Marine, man, it just makes it so easy. You don't have 40 million zip ties running down your, the cables to hold everything in place. It just keeps that stuff, hidden really well and very secure. So, of course, a couple rod straps, TH Marine Rod Tamer rod straps. Come back here to the console. A little bit different stuff here from what Nitro has done. The actual windshield on my last boat was what held everything kind of behind it, but you pull this off and there's a plate there that keeps everything, all your wires, fuses, everything back there really nice and dry. Super easy to get to system versus crawling up under the dash like we used to do. One thing over here I'll point out while I'm out here, you can see I replaced this thumb screw like what's down here on this upper one, I replaced that with a starport mount. So that's a great place for me to mount a GoPro anytime, if we're filming stuff here around the house or, out filming some other stuff. That's a great place to put that. Like I mentioned, the one Apex 16 here, I've been running 212s and running one split screen like down imaging and map when I would be scanning or 2D and map, and then the other one running full side imaging on that. With this, I've got it set up for two main views I'm going to use. One for when I'm scanning, one for when I'm running. I know I'll do some more electronic video breakdown stuff with that, but pretty excited about that setup back here. A big improvement on our dash system this year from Nitro. It's got this big touchscreen dash system. I don't have it powered on right now, but pretty awesome, dude. And another switch right here for my Raptors. Everything pretty much the same, I think, right back in here. Of course, tons of storage in the back of the Nitro, as always. And something I personally do, I've got an extra tub. So when I get a new boat, I literally just pull this tub out. It's got a bunch of paperwork. I slide it right back there under a shelf in the garage. It stays there all year. And then I just pull the one out of the old boat, put it in this one, take the one for the old boat, put it back in it. And when I get ready to sell it, that one will be ready to go. Since I did switch from Talons to Raptors, one big difference with there on my Talon, I had always just put a track mount that I would power, so it had USB power right out of the Talon head. It's super easy, really clean way to do that, and I loved running my GoPro that way for filming stuff, whether that's in the boat or whatever else. So that was a neat thing with the Talon, but I just wanted to switch it up this year. Wanted to go to the Raptors, and so I did that. But part of that meant I was going to run my camera mount right here on the back deck. So I mounted a USB powered starport from Railblazer right here on the back deck, and then I've just got a pole actually laying right here that I've even got a power cable already zip tied to, so that will just go right into there. Snap that dude in. And that's exactly how I'll be filming everything this year. So just plug that into power, and you're set. Man, it's pretty simple, pretty clean, and that thing is sturdy. It'll move around a little bit in the wind, but it is not going to go anywhere. I have run a lot of miles. I tested one out on that boat last year towards the end of the year just to try it. But 8-foot Raptors, black. And man, I gotta say, I had been around these a little bit. I know Brian Thrift and Kevin Van Dam both ran them last couple of years, and they both had talked about how great they were. Talked about how great they were, and didn't have any trouble out of them, and just super solid. So I'm excited about these this year as well. Of course, a couple steer stops on here from TH Marine. Let's see, coming on around the back, everything's pretty much the same. Of course, Mercury 250 Pro XS. Nothing else you'd want to have on the back of your boat. And then my Atlas jack plate, 12-inch setback, and that's the HD in black. It just matches everything else, just kind of ties in. Black motor, black boat, black wrap. That black jack plate looks really good on here. And it actually has a gauge that is tied into the dash now. So that's something that I've never had before. When you touch that the trim switch as well as the jack plate switch, a little deal pops up there on your dash and tells you what range your jack plate is in and kind of where it's at. So pretty neat deal. That is all just seamlessly wired in with that. So now I guess we can get up in the boat and go through a couple things. Okay, so up here, we'll start at the front again. Went over all the graphs and stuff, of course, foot switches, everything like I'd mentioned. Same layout as the my previous 21XL. These little day boxes up here make for a great place to put markers, dip and dye, bags of plastics that you're using that day. Excellent place to put those. And then of course over here on the rod box. So one thing that I always do, the boats come with a divider or organizer, and if you're a normal person carrying, a dozen rods or 15 rods or something, you should use that. I don't do that.
So you say this is not normal.
No, it's not. But I'll typically carry around 30 combos over here. And with that organizer system, it makes it pretty tough to get that many in there. So I just put them all, in the rod sleeves from Bass Pro, and then I can pile them in there pretty deep. So but it holds a bunch of them, as you can obviously tell. Cup holder right here is an excellent place to keep your auto retriever, as well as in your recessed foot pedal up there. You can lay it just to the side of that foot pedal. It lays right down in there perfectly, and it's heavy enough it'll never go anywhere. That is a great place to store your auto retriever.
Nice and bright, you know what it is.
Nice and bright. You're able to see it. Don't have to worry about it hiding from you. So now in here, again, same as the last year's boat as far as the layout. Of course, I've got my tackle Titan right here. Not been in here much, so I've not got a bunch of baits and stuff hanging on there yet. Big open storage, and you can put some rods across on top of that as well. You know, if you don't fill it up quite as much as what I do. Something I did last year. I only had one. I don't know why I never had it anymore on that boat, but I've put me 3 of the Railblazer line spooling stations here. And the primary thing I use those for personally is for leader line. You know, I use a lot of braid with the leader. I do it on a bait caster as well as a spinning rod. But I don't honestly know what size I've got on here, but I'll end up with 8, 10, and 17 are my 3 most commonly used leader sizes. So that's what I'll end up putting on these and have those ready to go for the whole season. So that is just, man, it makes it super easy. I can, you know, reach in here, pull that out, tie my FG knot up, pull out my leader line, cut it off, and I'm ready to go. So excellent little product there. I was able to get 3. I thought about putting a 4th one. I may still end up adding another one over here under this lid. I've not done that yet. I did have to remove this, which was something I truly didn't use a whole lot anyway. I do use those tackle Titans a ton, but I may end up adding another one in there. But yeah, I got plenty of stuff in that one, and you may have seen a video I done about some tackle organization stuff, and that's what all these Bass Pro tubs, these tackle utility binders, you know, Parker helped me with that, but those fit really well, you know, in this boat, in this rod box. I'm able to get to them, see what they are, and Parker did an excellent job helping me organize those and label them. So that was a fun project he and I worked on together. Of course, the cooler, not much different there.
Time you're ever gonna see it that clean.
Yeah, it will never be that clean again. Not until somebody else buys this boat.
Oh.
So coming over here, this was something new that I did this year as well. I didn't have that on my last one, but I put one of the tackle caddies from Railblazer right here on the side of the boat, and I put it where I did on purpose. So this piece of plastic is actually same with that. If you put a console over here on this side, you just take this off and the console just bolts right to that. So instead of putting additional holes in the fiberglass, that's just a piece of starboard. You know, if you want to replace that or whatever, it's a really easy place to do it instead of putting some more holes in the fiberglass. So that's why I mounted it where I did. Plus, it's handy. I mean, I think that's going to be a great place to have that. You know, it holds your pliers, holds your cutters. Good place. Of course, you've got one cup holder here already, but another place to put drinks or whatever else you may want to. Of course, this drawer here, it's kind of a catch-all of kinds. Got markers, got lip grippers, scale, cutters, all kinds of extra stuff there. And same with this one. This is the one where, you know, anything when I'm driving, I want to have handy. I've got a pair of gloves from where I was out breaking it in. I always got to have a couple spare dollars.
Those dollars in your, like, how many boats have those transferred from?
Well,
that's what I would really like to know.
Yeah, they've been in here a minute because they're very moldy. This one especially. Look at it. I mean, it's been from boat to boat.
That's a treasure.
Yeah, it really has. But that's it. In case I ever get to the ramp and I don't have my ramp fee, if it's $3 or less, I'm covered. So I mount another Railblazer port there, and then that's where I always keep my phone. You can keep it in that middle deal, but I like to keep it right there. That way it's dry because it's underneath there. Plus I can see it when I'm driving, so that's a good spot for that. Tilt steering wheel.
Is that new?
No, it's all.
Oh.
We've always had tilt steering. Of course, my dual trim tabs there from TH Hotfoot. Yeah, TH Marine Hotfoot. I've not got my chill tracks for it yet, which it's kind of got a rubber pad on it. Let's see if there's anything in here. Nope, don't put anything in there anymore.
Walleye, maybe.
Yeah, some walleye. Parker catching one. or when we fish a local tournament or something. Yeah, same deal back here. Just the same tub storage on both sides. Very well organized. Got everything in it I could possibly need. But then you power everything. Of course, back here, got me a trolling fin for my Aquaview camera. Spare prop there, but then 4 Lithium Pros batteries. These are 4 of the 31 130s for my trolling stuff. So got 3 of those. I've actually got the other one over there because this is one of the 30. Make sure I get the model right. It's 32 215. So this is a 215 amp hour cranking battery. So having all those screens, everything else, if I was running my live wells and everything, that 215 amp hour battery is more than enough, even with those 3 big 16-inch screens running all day long. So I really, really like having that extra large crank battery. Because of it being extra large, it's a little bit taller than other ones. It was, I could get it in that back spot back there where the cranking battery normally is. I did it on my last one, but it's a bear, so I just didn't even bother fighting it. I put a trolling battery over there this year, and it works out totally fine that way. So one thing different, going away from Talons back to the Raptors, they actually do have that pump. So those couple pumps are mounted kind of in that back corner back there, opposite of the other trolling battery. And then back here on this back wall, really hard to get to and see, but is the important part to recharge all that stuff. It's a Minn Kota 460 PC charger that's back there, and it actually has a lithium setting now. So a lot of us guys have been running lithium for a number of years. We've just kind of adjusted our chargers to work with them. That charger now from Minn Kota actually has a lithium setting, so pretty awesome with that. But the guys at Nitro, when they rig our boats, man, they do a fantastic job. Everything back here is super neat, very clean, and everything that's 12 volt is powered by a master power switch, engine and everything. I turn that off, kills all the power to the boat. So it's really nice to be able to have that, as well as, of course, it's got a trolling motor breaker over here too. So if you want to kill the power to everything, man, 2 switches and it's done. Very easy to do, if the boat's going to be parked for a little bit. So
Find them what that is.
Oh, yes.
Somebody will ask for sure.
Somebody will ask. Exactly. Yeah, this is a trip hazard. That's what this is. What it's actually used for in Major League Fishing, our stat unit is what goes onto there. So it's like, imagine a pelican case, a plastic pelican case, snaps onto there, and that creates the Wi-Fi hotspot that makes Score Tracker and everything work. Not so much for the camera. Some people would think that, but it's actually for Score Tracker, and so those iPads have connectivity and everything. Let's see. So we'll show a couple other things over here. So a place that I just started doing, I think last year, to keep my throw cushion very handy in a place that's out of the way as well. You don't have to worry about it blowing out going down the road or anything. So I'll take my Onyx throw cushion and put it right there behind that seat and just push that seat back against it, to where it latches tightly. And if I need to pull it out of there, I can, but it's going to stay there going down the road and everything as well. And then I personally always keep 3 inflatable life jackets from Onyx back here. A couple of the A24 Impulse. That's my favorite one. That's what I personally wear the majority of the time. And I've got another regular AM24. It's not the Impulse, but just another regular A24 back here, or AM24 back here. So yeah, that's where I like to keep those. Just I've always keep 3 in the boat, and they're right in there, very handy and easy to get to. So I think that's about it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video of the walkthrough of my 2023 NITRO Z21XL. Really excited about getting the season started here and pulling this baby down to Florida. Maybe we'll start the year with a big win. Who knows?